Coming to a YouTube channel near you.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition there. Hello there, Roger. We got Kevin. A little twisted. Hello, Vicky. Welcome to the show there. Kathy A. Welcome, Mary. Nice to see you there. Everybody's starting to slide in on a Tuesday evening. Nice and warm outside. Louisville, Kentucky. Hello, John. What do you say there, Kelly Jo? How are you doing today?
Hi, doing well. Excited to interview Jan and get my reading from the famous Grizzly.
Oh, yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to kick off the show. Kelly Jo asked me to read her live on the air, which I am always honored to read anybody, but Kelly Jo, really? So, I already said my prayer to invoke the white light. So, welcome, everybody. Round of applause. And we'll get started here. And we'll bring Jennifer. Hello, Joanne Stewart. Welcome. Nice to have you. Yeah, we'll put you in line there, Joanne, if we do once. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, right. So, Kelly Jo, take a breath in and exhale a few times. Welcome, Trina. And clear your mind out. You'll see you're a little excited. Excited. So am I. But if you can do that 2 or 3 times, and what I want you to do is I want you to picture yourself in a special place, in a calm place. And I want you to picture a hallway as you're inhaling and exhaling. And I want you to walk down that hallway and picture a door. As you go to that door, I want you to open the door. And when you open the door, it's pitch black. As you enter,
Yep.
I want you to close the door and enter the darkness. And let me know when the door is closed.
I closed it.
Now you're going to look and you're going to see a bright white light. And you're going to get warmness on your face. Let me know when you feel that.
Yep.
All right. Now, stand by. So, you like playing ball when you was a kid? Kick the can, play ball?
Yep.
All right. So, we're going to start with your childhood. So, you had a unique childhood, fun childhood as you was growing up. I see as you were in school, you're a little bit different, unique. You learned about your abilities while you were young, a little different. Your family was very tight and unique. Old school family, stuff that we like Meet the Cleavers type. If you don't know what Meet the Cleavers, ladies and gentlemen, Google that. It's something I used to play when I was growing up. High school years were very different. Kind of an outcast, loner. Typical with people with abilities. People didn't understand. Your mom has passed because she's here, isn't she? She's around you a lot at your house.
Yes.
She likes to bake.
Yep.
Yeah. She thinks the world of you. Well, she
Oh,
sucked
we
you
were-
right out of your teenage.
We were best friends.
Yeah, she sucked you right out of your teenage years. That's interesting. Your mid-20s, early 30s was a little rough. I'm seeing a padlock, so we're going to skip over that. We talked about that for the show. So it's interesting. So I see throughout the life, things did not turn out the way you wanted, which it's typical for a lot of people. However, there are things that you still want in life that you have not fulfilled. I still see that things were promised to you today and still have not been done. Is that true?
Yes.
I see that. And I hate that, right? I hate when people take advantage of people and they never fulfill things. That really bothers me. So I do see something turning. This is, what is this, September, October, November, December? April or July of next year. I don't know what that is. Something that's going to be turned around. I still see that you want to do something with the paranormal. Is that true?
Yes.
It seems like Jennifer may have a hand in that. I don't know why, but I see Jennifer with that. So we need to talk to Jennifer about that.
Okay.
We're going backwards now because your mom's pulling me. What do you have of your mom's that you look at from time to time? It's like a small little trinket or a piece of jewelry or something, because she's trying to show me something in her hand. I don't know what it is.
I have a lot of stuff. A little jewelry box. I have her lotion.
Yeah. but it's something that it's inside the jury box. Because she's opening up the box and she's pointing in. And she's like this. She's like this.
Little earrings.
Ah, okay. All right. I just got confirmation on that. Is this something that she wore a lot of?
Yeah.
Wore. Okay. Because she's saying that. Do you say out loud from time to time, "Oh, mom"?
Yep.
Okay, because she keeps saying that to me. "Oh, mom," and what's funny is that did you used to aggravate her about seeing spirits?
Did I used to? No.
Aggravate her? Did she get aggravated to you because you would say, "Mom," when you were growing up, there's something in the house, or you're
No,
seeing
she always
something?
believed me.
Yeah, no, but no, hands down, she did believe you. But did she just like laugh about it, like, "Oh my
No,
god"?
she always totally knew what I was talking about. Never laughed about it.
Did she laugh about it with her friends?
No.
Because she's laughing. She's laughing like it's no big deal. It's like a
Right.
common
Right.
occurrence.
Because she saw him too.
Right. Yeah. I mean, she's like it's common occurrence. Whatever Kelly said, she went with it, and
Right.
she loved. Did she like take in like the neighborhood kids as their own family? Because I'm seeing a spread
Oh
of
yeah.
dinner.
Mom always was feeding the kids. She made
Okay.
homemade cookies. There was always room for
Yeah.
one more.
Yeah. That's
Sandwiches, cookies. Our
okay.
house was the
That's
house
what
to
she's
go
doing.
to for good food.
Yeah. And she always, anytime a kid hurt themselves, she was there to fix it.
Yep.
She showed me Band-Aids and rubbing alcohol. Did she use rubbing alcohol?
Mercurochrome.
Is that what it is? Because it's
Yeah.
weird. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm getting the laughter now, so it's funny. I can't help it. It looked like rubbing alcohol to me. You know what the heck?
Well,
I didn't know what
that's
that
fine.
is. I didn't know what that. I didn't. I don't. Do they even still make
I
that?
was always hurting myself.
So, oh yeah, she just says you're accident prone. Was you accident prone?
Oh yeah, I've broken so many bones. Poor Ma had to pick me up out of the creek. I rolled down the hill and broke my arm.
Ah, what the hell, Kelly? She says you are a healer. Explain that.
Yeah, I can feel through my hands, and I can do energy work, and I can do long distance work, send energy and
Oh,
do
I didn't know
healing.
you can do long distance because I
Yep.
remember you telling me about the horses, and she just said, yeah, you loved animals, which we already knew that part, but I didn't know you can do long distance.
Yes.
That's interesting. Who's the male figure that passed is like, "Ah, no, 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 no."
My
It's
dad
short.
used to get boisterous.
Okay, so he is there too, and he's just like, that's Kelly Joe. That's Kelly Joe. That's
Yep.
my daughter.
He was proud of me.
Yeah, very proud, very nonchalant, and to the point. Very, very short and to the point. He's got it sounds like he's got like an accent. To me, it's an accent. Everybody says I talk funny, but
Well, he was from Michigan, so
oh
the
well,
way,
that's funny talking to me. I mean,
yeah.
I'm from Kentucky, and they said Jennifer makes fun of me all the time when I said nut. Net. She said I thought I said nut, whatever. I can't even say it now. Hey, Kimmy
Net.
Court, how you
Yes,
doing? But
I get
no,
it.
it's funny. Did your mom and dad bicker a lot? Because I'm hearing bickering.
They did. They
Archie
sometimes
Bunker type of bickering.
dad would bitch at mom.
Yeah, because they're doing it right now. Like, what the hell? I'm trying to talk to your daughter right now. She asked for a damn reading. They're bickering about something. So yeah, Vicky, it's a Fargo accent. So I'm just telling you, it's funnier in hell, right?
But they loved each other. But
Oh no, it's evident they love each other. It's just a bickering, like it's like Archie Bunker or whatever. But you
yeah,
want to talk about?
dad would tell mom what to do.
Did you wreck a car when you were younger or something?
We had a car wreck. Yeah, really
Okay.
bad. Really bad. Really, two of them. We were going in Detroit, and a little green. I'll never forget. It was like a mint green car, and it hit
Yeah.
our car, and we were on a trip, and had to go to the emergency room. It wrecked like 20 cars,
Wow.
and then somebody hit mom's big Lincoln when we were kids.
Yeah, she said it wasn't our fault.
No,
Wasn't our fault.
and we slid in the ditch with the big red truck.
Oh,
And
wow.
all the groceries broke. We had eggs and flour and
She said it was everywhere.
Yeah, we rolled it.
My Lord. So,
We
yeah,
were okay. Nobody was hurt.
yeah, she's giving
My
confirmation.
mom
on
was
that.
always calm. She goes, "Here we go, kids."
That's ironic. Yeah, so that's ironic. But she says she's very proud of you. Did she pass sudden?
Sort of, kind of, but not. What happened is she fell on the floor, broke her pubic bone in two places before her hips, and she got pneumonia, and she died of pneumonia.
She wasn't ready.
You know, well, but
Yeah.
then one night I went in the room and she was swinging her diaper, and she goes, "I'm out of here." Well,
Yeah,
by
yeah,
God,
okay.
the next day she was gone.
Yeah, yeah.
She
So
says, "I
that,
don't want no more pain."
yeah, but she wished she had more time.
I know. And she was happy that I took good care of her.
Oh yeah, you got total confirmation on that. She said there's nothing else that she could ever wish for. So, and it's amazing because we hear that a lot, don't we, Kelly, about when people actually cross over. And
Yeah.
it's very amazing.
The little stinker waited till she had me up all night because she was in pain. And I had fallen asleep. And I did dream of her crossing over because Dad came and got her and took her hand in my
Yeah,
dream.
he did.
And then I went in and she was gone.
You weren't there when she
No.
crossed. She said
I mean, she was
waited.
in the other room, but she
Right.
waited till I fell
right.
asleep.
Right. That's what she's telling me. Yeah, she waited. So.
I said, "You little stinker."
Yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, a lot of times family members or friends would do that. They either wait till you leave the room, or leave the hospital, or the place, or fall asleep, and they will usually hold on until that happens. So,
Yeah.
Why does your dad keep saying Kelly Joe did it again? She's on it. Why does he keep saying that?
What? She's on it?
She's on it, on top of it.
Well, I'm trying to be. I always was figuring, and I'm a lot like my dad, figuring, doing, planning.
Okay.
And he thought I was the greatest. He was always bringing, this sounds horrible. This isn't anything funny. He would bring strange men home and tell them that I could help them with their back. Yeah, because I was massage.
Yeah, it's what he's doing. That's what. Oh, you was?
Yeah.
I didn't know what that meant. He's like,
"Ooh." Yeah, and my hands could heal.
Okay. And I thought I was going like,
no, he's showing that I said, "Dad, you got to quit doing that."
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you knew what I asked Kelly before the show, you'd be like, "Damn, Grizzly, what the hell was you seeing?" Because I asked Kelly Joe, I'm like, "Man, was this something I was seeing before the show?" Anyway, but yeah, that's funny. Damn, they just left. Well, that was interesting. Well, they're gone.
Huh.
But she does. Your mom hangs out in the living room.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah. So, because she showed me the living room. But yeah, that I heard a door close, and then when I hear a door close, they're gone.
Yep.
That's wild. I'll be damned. So, hey, Joanne. There you go, Kelly. What do you think?
Thank you. That was wonderful.
Am I the real deal or what?
You are the real deal. Totally. You nailed it.
So yeah, it's interesting because I was actually seeing stuff prior before the show, and it's weird how I see things, and sometimes I can taste things, but I'm nothing like you. But go ahead, I'll let you read me now.
Well, I do see you being invited to Waverly.
Oh, interesting.
And it's going to be taped. It's with somebody that's well known and has a show.
Oh.
You're in a 9-year cycle, which means completion right now.
Right.
And it's a good thing. And you got all kinds of opportunities, books, shows, and you got a contract coming up. So make sure you have it legal eagle.
Right.
Healing and enlightenment for yourself, doing the work within, they say, and lots of trips. There's something about St. Louis in you. I have no idea what that is connected to.
Now, you're absolutely right. I've got it looks like a trip to Michigan, possibly St. Louis, Georgia, Texas,
And then
one maybe in Pennsylvania.
there's also a Canadian trip.
Oh, really? Because
Yeah.
we've been ticking around with the Canadian one. So interesting.
Yeah. So you're going to Canada. So do you have your passport?
No, I was told to get it. So
You need to go get it. It takes a minute to fetch it.
Yeah, it does. It does. And yeah, absolutely. Interesting. Jennifer's
Because that'll
backstage.
probably be next year, summertime. You'll go to Canada.
Interesting.
And it's like near the
Quebec.
Huh?
Quebec.
No, British Columbia.
Oh, that's what I meant to say. I said Quebec. British Columbia is what I meant to say. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Hopefully, you ain't watching the show. If you are watching the show, I didn't say it. I'm just saying. But anyways, yeah, absolutely.
And I am available for readings, guys. It is my living.
Yeah, no, yes, and ladies and gentlemen, yeah, her information is at the bottom. You know, it for real. This is how they make a living. That's the only way they survive. But yeah, absolutely.
And then
what you're seeing here is nothing to what you actually get in a reading. This is just a sample.
And then you're also going to meet with your other issue. I won't get specific. A young man who knows his stuff. So, and it's up and coming in new developments. So that's what I'm getting. And he's going to involve all the aspects of everything.
I know who you're talking about. Ain't that right, Jennifer? Oui. It's friend. She's backstage going.
And then after you get your passport, you will go to the famous places in 2 years, like England, the Tower of London. You also are going to go to like Ireland. There's like a real famous place in Ireland. And you're also going to go to the Vlad's Castle.
Oh, always wanted to film there.
Yeah, and I see you going to Vlad's Castle.
Interesting.
Mom and Dad's doing good. Your right. Daughter's doing good.
Right.
And are you thinking of getting a new puppy?
What? Wow. I don't know. I hope not. Am I?
You might. Looks like a little Chihuahua. It's its puppy.
Ah.
And it'll be like a teacup kind.
Then you know that's my soft spot.
I know. You're going to go wandering around and go, oh, I have to have it.
Oh, my Lord. Interesting.
So a new fur baby.
New fur baby. Love it. Interesting.
Do you have any questions? No. Oh, your grandma's with you. She's been around you a lot.
Is it because what we talked about until I get it resolved?
Yeah. And then you also have, who in the heck is Jimmy? Somebody who's dead. His name is Jimmy. Jimmy is with you. He's a tall, skinny guy with dirty blonde hair.
I think it's one of my mom's uncles.
Okay, so he's with you.
Interesting. Okay, great.
There you go.
All right. Interesting. Fantastic. Jennifer, come on down. So what'd you think about that reading?
Oh, that was amazing.
I know, right?
Someday.
Yeah, right. So introduce yourself, Jennifer, and tell everybody who you are and what you are.
What I am. I'm Jennifer Talley. I'm one of the co-founders of New Orleans Paranormal Society. We specialize in doing paranormal investigations, particularly in the French Quarter. We do them almost nightly for public hunts, and we take private cases. We have a large religious organization that we do private cases with as well. One involved in exorcism of a property. And we've been doing this full time for about 4.5 years, almost 5. But we started about 2018, just kind of messing around, you know, because we live in the most haunted neighborhood in the United States, because why not, right? So, and then during the process, when we started, I was just a walking tour guide. I did history tours, food tours, those ghost story tours and stuff like that. And I found out in, what did I say, 2018, we had some weird stuff start happening to my husband and I. And for some reason, he called a voodoo priestess to come over to find out, what was going on. And I kept telling him, I said, it's because I'm supposed to see dead people, but I'm not seeing them. So they're affecting you now because I'm not acknowledging them. And the lady came over, and sure enough, she said, yeah, pretty much, she's right.
Wow.
It's kind of crazy. So I was with him for 12 years. And then, surprise,
Wow.
you see dead people. So now I'm on a path to figure out what that is. You'd think in a neighborhood like I live in that education, mentors, and things like that would be everywhere. No, it took me until 2021, 2022. So it took me 5 years to find someone who would finally agree to help me figure out what this all was. Meantime, I'm just thinking I'm crazy or moody or you name it. So I started working with them. I worked with them for about a year straight. And then I think lately I feel like I have to go down another path. I think it's just good when you have different mentors. So it's been quite a journey on that on that side. So it's just, I don't know. I was talking to him the other day, some of my friends. I said, I keep asking my spirit guides, like, what is it I can do? What is it I can do? And I said, the other day I heard everything. And that was kind of crazy to me.
Well, that's absolutely right. You're a medium, you're psychic, you have all the gifts.
Yeah, I do.
You just need to trust it and quit poo-pooing it.
Yeah, I think I hear a lot of people say that you struggle with confidence sometimes. You're afraid to be wrong because so many people are skeptical of mediums in general, because there are a lot of charlatans out there. We run into them from time to time.
Right.
And also mediums that don't understand your information is only as good as the spirit giving it to you. And you sometimes have to work through that. Is there a spirit giving you false information because they're just a jerk, right? And sometimes that happens too.
That's why you always say your prayer of protection and ask for only the highest good and ask if it's true and correct.
So it's been a journey. I've read people in front of me. I've read people on the phone. I've read people over video by accident. I've pets. I've had windows break with my hand on them when I wasn't doing anything, but I was upset.
I bust stuff too. Don't get around electrical equipment. It's fried.
And then I think there's some Reiki in me too lately. I've been feeling a lot of that. So it's just sometimes it's just so hard to figure out what everything is. The thing is funny, I can't do it. Like we were invited to do the press junket here for the launch of Haunted Mansion for Disney because it was filmed here. So we were invited to be the local experts, right? And they wanted just a quick bio of us. And I thought, okay, well, this is about me. This is about Chris. And here's all equipment. So here you go. Well, the people that planned the other events, other than the one we were at, had kind of dropped the ball. And so Disney was really struggling to really recover for the press there because it was 100+ degrees out with these people from California with 80% humidity, and they were taking them on walking tours for 2 hours outside. They weren't, it was miserable. So they started throwing people at me to do readings. And I was not prepared for that. Oh my God. Talk about nervous breakdown, darn near. The first one first person, I'm like, listen, this is not, I don't do this. You know, I don't sit and do, I just don't. I just don't do it. I don't think I have enough confidence. So I ended up reading 3 of them. By the 3rd one, it was easier. It was easier. But a couple of them kind of skeptical. So then I'm like, oh my gosh, you're going to be that stoic face that isn't going to acknowledge anything. And I'm just going to sit here. But it was very nerve wracking. We got done and I'm like, please don't make me do that again. I don't think my nerves can take it. But it's been crazy. When we started though, and we were doing private investigations, even before we kind of knew anything, they would just throw me in front of our cameras and I'd just walk and we'd stop. And I'd be like, right here, something's here. And then more often than not, there was something, and something just flew across my living room. Yay. So that's kind of how we started using everything, is just being able to feel the energies too. You know, even the demonic cases we had, those were kind of crazy too, feeling that kind of energy. You say that
those aren't any fun.
No, especially when you walk into them. The one with the exorcism, that one we were just told the person that lived there was having night terrors, and we knew that a woman was strangled and dismembered and stored in a trunk in a crawl space in the apartment. This is not the Zach and Addie story, everyone, so it's a different story, but same general location. So, and then over Hurricane Katrina, the guy had moved and said, okay, everything left in my old apartment you can have. And he had drugged this, it's basically like a big Rubbermaid container she was in. And he left it in the middle of the neutral ground, and the landlords came and opened it up and flagged down the National Guard and said, I think you want to see what's in here. And it was this woman who was dismembered and had been murdered. But so we thought it was her. And we found out very, very, very quickly
that wasn't her.
No, that was something. That was something. So I actually took a break from private investigations for about 2 years after that.
Wow.
It was that bad. I had the ever living crap beat out of me by this thing twice. We had a class 2 St. Michael exorcism relic I actually had put on top of my head. So in those relics, there's a stone from a cave in Italy where St. Michael has said to have appeared and left footprints. And so they took pieces of those stones and they put it in this sealed brass container with glass over it. And I had just happened to have it that night, the first night, and I put it on top of my head because I could feel it. It was just kicking me in the head. And we looked at it, I think a day or 2 later, and it shattered into 3 pieces, but the glass was intact.
Wow.
So it did its job. It protected me.
It absorbed it. Did you take the stone and bury it?
We couldn't get it out of the glass. We would have had to bust the glass. So we actually we brought it back in to see the religious organization that we work with, one of the 3 higher people there that we work with. And they did some work on it. And then we had a few other people of other spiritual practices who do removals and things like that. So it went through its paces between the major spiritual practices here that would have summoned that entity. And then we still have it. And one of the other investigators takes it on his hunts, but no, we didn't. We didn't bury that one. So, and you can't get them anymore either. I look for another one. You can't get them. So,
yeah.
But it's been crazy. I think we're up for like the public hunts until Chris, we're at almost 1,000.
Wow.
So, but, and those are in the same locations. I mean, you know, you see a lot of these groups that go to Waverly, since you mentioned Waverly. You know, it's the one-off. Or I'll go again in another month or next year. That's not, we go to the same locations every time. So we have 4 locations. So over time, we get to see the evolution of human spirits even after death. Even personality changes in them, which is absolutely amazing to see. We had one spirit named Paul who was at the Andrew Jackson Hotel. It's one of the places we go to. We found him over COVID. He said he was there because that used to be our first district courthouse. And he was executed, convicted and executed of killing his mom, clubbing his mom to death. And he said he didn't do it. And he didn't want to cross until his name was cleared. Well, his case was in 1832, and those records were destroyed by Hurricane Katrina. So unless I found a news article, there was nothing I could do, even though we had a city official that would come and just pardon him posthumously. So 4.5 years of bringing people who look like the people who would have been on his jury in 1832 over and over. Paul, tell him your story. Paul, tell him your story. You're innocent. Paul, tell him your story. Paul, tell him something about yourself. Tell him who did it. We believe you're innocent, Paul. And finally, about 6 weeks ago, maybe 8, he told my husband, Chris, he asked him, he said, Paul, are you ready to go? And he said, yes.
Oh, yay.
And it was weird. He brought 2 girls that are voodoo practitioners and friends of a friend in, and Paul wouldn't go. And he asked Paul, and I wasn't there, and he said, do you want Jen here? And he said, yes, bring the witch, which is what they call, I mean, it's the title, right? It's not I'm not calling him a name. It's just the bloodline, right? So I've never done it before. Never moved a spirit on, never. So I got this prayer for friends of mine. We lit a candle. There was a song we used to play. We would play for him. We played a song. We talked to him. I told my husband, I said, one of the reasons he won't go is because he's afraid he won't see you anymore. Like they became friends. And he said, I'm going to miss Chris. And I was like, Paul, my grandmother's here. If she's here with me, she's crossed and come back. You can do that. Once you cross, you can come back. If you want to come back and just pop in and go, are you still behaving, Chris? So do that. Ask her, get validation. And then finally we said the prayer and everything. And sure enough, the candle went oop, just a little bit. And the air just got just still, like vacuum still. And he's still gone. He's still with his family, which is amazing. So he's the only one that's asked to cross, even though we do ask a lot. He's the only one that's asked to cross. But it was kind of cool to do for him.
It's neat to see the evolution of that. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
And we've had another location. We had a spirit named Philip. He called. The first time I met him, he left hand marks on my shoulders. Like he was hitting on me. He was massaging my shoulders, but in his life, he was a womanizer and probably didn't call females very good names all the time, and he called me several of those words. Because I was like, stop it, you're dead. You can't do that. I'm sure you're not my type. And nuzzled my ear. I mean, he definitely a forgiveness rather than permission kind of guy. And then there was a little girl in this place named Chloe. She's a 12-year-old little girl that died on the property. And he was kind of a jerk to her. But over the years, his demeanor towards us has changed. He still cusses like a sailor, but he's not like mean. And we play him music. He tells us the songs he wants to hear, and we'll play him music. And he's actually become a protector of that little girl. So if he thinks that she's been communicating with us too much, he'll say, Chloe's not coming out tonight. She's tired. Which is kind of cool to see that kind of stuff.
So you're evolving too. So you're getting your confidence back.
Yeah, I think so. I was on a block for a while, but that had to do with I think I was getting to go to another level, but I also had 2 nasties follow me home that I had to get rid of. One took about 6 months.
Wow.
So
Now you make them stay where they are now, right?
I do my best. But not everyone that lives in my house does the cleansing they should. So I'm sometimes a little behind the 8 ball with trying to keep all of that grounded and clear and clean. And it every once in a while we kind of got to go in for a checkup and a little maintenance to see what we missed as far as the slimed, what we got slimed. Because I mean, we have so much here.
Well, before you leave, tell them they have to stay where they are.
We do. They don't listen. But then it's also here. We have so many alternative spiritual practices here, between voodoo and witchcraft and vampires and every form of all of them.
Yeah.
They don't always listen. And then sometimes you get people who, whether they mean to or not, they send stuff to you and send stuff at you. So then that's happened a couple times too. Where I've had people.
Do you do protection prayers and your wall of mirrors?
That is something I am terrible at.
That's so important to do because otherwise you're going to be in deep doo-doo.
Mm-hmm. I've been trying to work on shielding. That's my biggest weakness.
Don't try, do it.
Yeah. Because it is. I mean, I know.
Make it a priority and a habit.
Yeah.
Before you do anything. Otherwise, you can have an attachment for years and they'll get you.
Mm-hmm. What was one of them that was here? I would wake up and feel like I just had the crap beat out of me. My arms, my elbows down, and my legs. I thought, what is this? So I finally sat up one morning and did another meditation. And I was like, I've just had it. Like, what is this? I had anything and everything you could burn, spray, clean, pray, say, bells, nothing was working. I'm like, what is this thing? So I sat up and I finally saw it pacing on the side of my bed. And when it would disappear, it would hit me. And it felt like electrical shock in my arms.
Wow.
It ended up to be a psychic vampire. That either he was one that I upset for crossing a pall over, because there is one in that location, or it was sent. And then the other one was, I felt like my ribs were cracked. And then I've met through some friends somebody who does removals, but his is Kenny, what does he say? He like eats the spirits. Does that make sense?
I understand. I've heard of all that stuff.
Yeah. So he did that, and it got a bunch of it because it just looked like a big ball of black, and it would shoot into like right on the below my rib cage. I'm like, well, this is why my ribs feel like they're cracked, because I've broken ribs before, bruised and broken. So we ended up going to Vegas for a billiard tournament for my husband. And oddly enough, the casino we stayed in had a crystal shop. What are the odds? And she had this big crystal bowl that I couldn't even put my arms around. And when you would buy something, she would clear it on that bowl. Well, I told her what was going on with me. And so she let me stand by the bowl and she rang it, and we were just saying different things, and it hit me right at that area. And I bet you we did it 4 or 5 times over the time we were there, and it came home, it was gone.
Good. It shattered it.
Yeah. Because the bells weren't working. The rattles
Right.
weren't working. The drums weren't working. So I'm like, okay, what frequency are we not hitting here?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that happens too. So
as you go along, you'll get better.
Yeah. So the one thing I think I wrote about that we get a lot, I run into people all the time on my investigations. I mean, and I'm sure they're put there on purpose. People who have abilities that either don't know or don't know what to do.
Right.
all the time. So I want to start a school. Like
That would be terrific.
Everybody in one place. Like Kelly Jo, she does this. Get your readings, get your classes with her on this night, but this is the one channel you go to. You know, my friend Irena, she does alternative magic and psychic development. Or do you want to learn tarot? Then this is her channel. Or, you know, whoever, and everyone would just have their own little thing that they do, and people could look, and it would be one space, either live, which we're going to do workshops here.
What did I just say to you, Kelly?
He told me that you and I would do something.
Yeah. And so we would have weekend workshops here, and I have some spaces for that, where people could come and, you know, this month we're featuring this person and this is what they do. So if you're in New Orleans, this is what you want to do. One of my friends is going to do a workshop on vampire magic. I mean, people want to know about that. People want to see voodoo ceremonies. She's willing to do that. People need psychic development. People need to know how to make protection, you know,
Right.
oil sprays, all of that stuff. So I just see it so much, and I feel so bad because I know how lost they are and know how hard it is to find where do you go and who do you believe and who do you trust that isn't gonna. And I've seen groups. We did another one. I think my husband did it, and I ran into him after my tour and my hunt, and I saw the group, and there was this young kid there, and my husband kind of held back. I said, is the young kid the new one in the group? And he said, yeah. And I said, it's a shame. He said, what? I said, those girls are taking advantage of him. They are not teaching him right, and they are using him. He needs to get away.
I know. I hate that. And I hate when people rip people off and, you know, it's not fair.
And not even teaching people correct things, you know, acting like you know what to do and you don't.
Right.
And then just taking their money like, okay, just do what I said. No, that's not okay.
No.
So finding people with some integrity is hard sometimes.
It really is.
And that's just something I've been brainstorming for the last few weeks and trying to figure out what does it look like. I have a little test run going the second week in October. We're going to do a seance lunch, a gallery reading lunch with food history. And then they can stay back and schedule readings. So that's going to be like the little test that we do. And then kind of go from there as far as workshops and what those look like. You know, whoever the special guest is going to be for the 3 days, that, you know, I'll get the venue, you do, I'll give you some options on like meals and things you can do with that, but you do the rest. You know, you do what you do. You do you. And let people find who they connect with, but give them a responsible source to get information, because it just drives me crazy.
I think that's great.
Does anyone have?
Because there is a lot of people that are poking around. They don't know what they're doing. Like when I go on exorcisms, they'll say, "Oh, we got problem at our house." I'll say, "What did you do?" We didn't do nothing.
Yeah, whatever.
You did something.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and a lot of times, you know, we stopped taking, you know, when we first started this, we were just like the newbie, paranormal, whatever. Yeah, you know, we're the cowboys out there. We're going to take anything and everything. And no, I won't do it now. You know, get so many calls about, well, you know, this and this and this is going on in the house. And then all of a sudden it kicks in. It's like, how many times did you play with the Ouija board that you didn't close it? You know what you're doing. You don't need a paranormal investigation. You need a clearing. You don't need me to meet your demons. I don't need to meet any more. Met enough in my life. Okay. I'm not coming to meet your demons, but here's the resources to get the clearing and the readings. And is it attached to you? Is it in your house? This is what you can do in the meantime. Here you go. If you want someone to come in and capture the evidence for you, I'm not that girl. I don't need that. I don't need that adrenaline rush, because that's not what you need. You need the second step. And people get a little pissed at me for it, but
Well, with
Why-
me, my clearings have always been private and all that. It isn't a thing to do an investigation. It's a thing where
Right.
they need help.
Right. And so you would be someone I would refer them to, because that's not what I do. I don't do the
Yeah.
clearing. I'm the evidence gatherer to say, do you need an exorcism? Do you need a clearing? But when you get something so obvious, why would I put myself in harm's way on
Right.
purpose
Right.
when they need you. They don't need me.
And then I always bring another friend with me. You don't ever go alone. You know what I
Never
mean?
alone.
Ever,
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah. So how often do you do those clearings and exercises?
In a while, I haven't done some in a while, but when I was, way back in the early 2000s, man, I was doing them all the time. You know, and they'd be doing either drugs or a Ouija board or witchcraft and all that stuff. And it's like, I had one person, Mom used to go with me a couple times, and I had one, they invited it back because they didn't have anything to talk about.
Wow.
And it killed the dog. You know, we went in the bedroom and it was cold as ice. We were breathing ice crystals.
Yeah.
And yo.
Wow.
We had one after our last big hurricane. That was, this lady lived, she lived a little over an hour from here. And my husband was out there for something else. And he said, you need to come out here. Something really bad is here. And I said, okay. And there was at least 3 that I saw. And she was physically ill. She had, oxygen. She toted around, but she was smoking. Her daughters dabbled in witchcraft. And I'm like, oh, here we go. I said, show me your books. Where's your book? Give me your books. What would you use on a daily basis? Give me your books. They did not bring one reference book down. Not one. No encyclopedia of crystals, no encyclopedia of herbs, no reference books. It was all these spell books. And they just I said, let's just open a page. Open a page. First part of the spell. Take out your cell phone. Really? Take out your cell phone. And I just thought, uh-oh. And they clearly didn't want us there. The daughters didn't. They thought they could do it, right? And they were of that age that's just, no matter what, it was going to be that way. And so we tried to come in and do an interview with their mom and go over all the questions you would need to send it to the church for an exorcism. And they wouldn't stop making noise in the kitchen. They just wouldn't stop. So finally we left and we said, listen, if your whole family's not on board, there's nothing we can do. This is a team effort here.
Right.
And she said, okay, I'll get back to you. She never did. And she died.
Wow.
Wow.
I went to an exorcism one time with a girlfriend, and we were chasing the thing all around. And we finally got it and sent it through light. But the people called back, and it was back again. I said, this mama don't play. I ain't coming back.
Yep.
I said, this is not a game.
Nope.
Because they had vortexes, portals opened up. I was going around putting lodestones and crystals and salt and doing the whole property. And they even made the natives that passed on PO'd.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
and I'm like, oh boy, I ain't going back there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you don't, and that Native American magic, ooh, that is very specialized. I'll put it that way. But, people like that, what do we say? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yeah.
I hate to be that
Absolutely.
harsh, but I mean, come on. How many bricks in the load got to hit you on the head before you stop doing what you're doing?
It's called You Can't Fix Stupid.
Yeah, no, seriously. And that's why we just kind of really pulled back on private investigations. It's just a very special case by case, because that's just all it is. And I don't do clearings. So why do you need me there?
And you do need, it doesn't hurt you to do a clearing and a cleansing and an exorcism, but you need to take a bath of salt when you get home, and you need to rest. You're using every ounce of your energy and being because you prepare before you go.
Yep.
And
You
then
know, I'm go ahead.
And then you do have to rest because you're like plum duckered because you've expanded all this energy to get rid of the oogie boogie.
Yeah. Paranormal hangover.
Yeah.
See, in law enforcement, we said we can't fix stupid, but we can issue a court date.
There you go. I'm
Anyway.
sorry. So I digressed. I apologize.
No, I hear you because we hear that from that and the organization we work with. You know, they all have their processes. We have the Catholic side, we have shamanic side, we have voodoo, we have access to Asian, Native American. I think we have someone that could actually work with jinns, but because we've seen all of that. You know,
well,
because
it's all out there. I don't negate anything.
Yeah. Well, and considering where I am, 13 by 9 neighborhood, blocks long, you know, wide and long, it's all in my neighborhood. Like, and then it's all attached to the people that come on the experiences because you don't know what they've done.
Right.
You know, I felt a jinn once on this guy on the investigation. I thought, oh, you're new. Okay. You just stay out there. I'll talk to you.
Jinns are intense.
Yeah. I mean, and some are good, some are bad, some are in the middle.
Right.
You know, just
it's like with anything else.
Yep. So I thought, no, I won't talk to you. I'm good.
Oh, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Jennifer.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. How they find you and get a hold of you?
So, our website is NewOrleansParanormalSociety.com. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of that. So NewOrleansParanormalSociety.com. Take a look at our stuff, our shop, our events, and come learn how to do paranormal investigations the right way.
And Kelly Jo?
KellyJoePsychic.com or 561-333-5367. And I want to put it out there. If you ever want to call and talk, Jim, go ahead.
Thank you. Don't be surprised if I don't take you up on that.
I'm serious. And leave a message and I'll call you back if I'm not home.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kelly Jo. Thanks
absolutely.
Thank
and
you
ladies
for
and
coming.
gentlemen, yes, it's been wonderful. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we got a show coming up at 10 p.m.
Thank
Eastern.
you.
Yes, and from coast to coast around the world, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you shortly. Godspeed.